Okay, gonna get into this run. It is about 35 degrees, which is pretty comfortable. And in this episode, talking about goal setting and the process for goal setting and the importance of having some targets and some goals when it comes to long-term progress and immediate short-term progress and what I'm doing about that. So time to make some running content. Let's get into the run. Be right back with the goal setting work. Here we go. Obstacles. All right. Guess while we have this break, we'll talk about focus for the run, at least an hour in length, and a heart rate under 144, 43, something like that. Here we go. Just getting back from that run, and before we start talking about goals for this year, let's take a look at the run here. A pretty good run for me. Really trying to concentrate on lower heart rate training again to make sure that I am becoming as efficient as I possibly can. So keeping the heart rate below 145 is always a good thing for me. Last year's totals were like 1272. Now, that's up from the 2019 goal that I had, which was to exceed 800. And I exceeded that 800, and I think I pulled in at around 853 for that year. So to capitalize on that and grow to 1272 is beyond comprehension for me. I mean, great progress. When it comes to the goal setting process, one thing that I like to do, it may work for you, you can try this. It is not a big deal. I'm using Strava to log my running goals. Obviously I have goals in a lot of areas of my life, but when it comes to the running goals, in particular quantity, those goals are all housed in Strava. You can check that out. This year's goal is 1,400 miles. Now, people are like, why do you set an annual goal? Well, the first reason for setting an annual goal is it gives me a target to make sure that I am becoming as efficient as I can day by day, month by month, across an entire year. So there's a year plan in place. The second thing that it allows me to do is to kind of chip away and think about shorter term goals. So I like to think about, where do I need to be at the end of June, 6 months? Where do I need to be at the end of this month, even shorter term goal? What does that mean for this week? Let me just walk you through my process. So 1272 was 2020's goal, or I'm sorry, 2020's total. And this year, I basically took 10% of that. So about 127 miles. And I tacked that on to the 1272 and came out and around 1,400. A 10% increase for me is creating enough tension that there's a little uncertainty that I may not get the goal. And that tension is the piece that I need. If the goal was just say to clear 1,000 again, I don't think that's enough tension to improve my running or improve the runner that I want to become. So by increasing 10%, now I'm not gonna say that every year I'm gonna increase 10%, but to find that threshold of tension around 10% increase feels like there's enough tension there where it's uncertain that I may not get it. Take today's run, for example. We're in 2 days into this year and I've already put up a 10-mile run. That's a good sign for me because again, the smaller, more weekly type goals for me is to make sure that I get a longer run in, a run that is longer than 8 miles or around that 8 to 12 range each week. So mission accomplished. When it comes to the annual goal of 1,400 miles, there's a block of training that needs to occur each month. So if we were to kind of scale this back to looking at each month, you're talking approximately about 120 miles per month will have me at that 1,400 mile threshold. So the goal after 6 months, or by the end of June, just before July 4th there, I want to make sure that I'm sitting around that 700 to 720 range, which will obviously finish the marathon training block that is May, give me some downtime in June, and hopefully kind of get back on my feet to finish the second half of the year and making sure that I can knock off another 700 miles all the way through December. Now, if this year was any indication, December was a really hard running month for me, as was September, coming off of that knee injury, and just the slowdown that I experienced after that New York State virtual 434. I kind of hit the dip, and it was hard for me to come back out, but November was a promising month for me. And then December kind of slipped again. I think I only finished with like 70 miles total in December. Knowing that the year could end again that way, I want to make sure that each week I am putting in the work to amass the weekly goal, which obviously, if I'm going for 120 a month, probably is around that 28 to 32 range per week. Putting in that longer run each week, or those intermediate runs as well. And then making sure that I can at least knock off that 120 mark per month, but having those targets gives me something to shoot for. So all of my goals, both annually, monthly, and weekly, are all housed in Strava. So if you want to check it out there, you're more than welcome to do so. But when it comes to fitness and running, I'm curious to hear how you set your goals. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Thank you so much.